The day before you left the country, your childhood sweetheart warned you not to date, not to skip class, and not to get into fights. Then she slipped you a note, telling you to open it whenever you missed her. It read, "When you come back, we'll get married." After going abroad to further your studies, you became bound to a system. You learned your fiancé was financially supporting a young man who looked remarkably like you. According to the plot, by the time you returned, the female lead would already be in love with him. Even your friends would side with her and blame you. You would be the one who should never have come back. So, you made a decision. You would not return home yet. First, you would hold exhibitions abroad and meet master artists. Then you began promoting your work. You also befriended several respected senior artists, subtly getting them to willingly promote your paintings and offer you guidance. In less than 3 months, you had reinvented yourself as a rising star. Socialites and influential figures began inviting you and placing commissions. Your market value soared several-fold overnight. The system began to panic. Host, shouldn't you be heading home now? At this point, you were supposed to discover the female lead. You checked the time and asked the system, "Are the male and female leads together yet?" No. You frowned. "If I don't go home, can't they develop their relationship on their own and move the plot along? I've already given them the chance." The system was speechless. Seeing the media coverage about you, Ningbing furrowed her brow slightly. She knocked on Ryan's office door. "Come in." Ningbing handed her the tablet. On it was news of your spectacular success abroad. Didn't Chen say he was coming back? Why is he building a career overseas instead? Could he have found out about you and Ziteng and decided not to return? Looking at your photo and hearing Ziteng's name, Ryan felt a flash of guilt and grew deeply uneasy. She laid the tablet flat on the desk. "Impossible. Unless all of you betrayed me." Ningbing punched her. "Betray you? After the despicable thing you've done, we've all kept it hidden for you. And you accuse us of betraying you? Have you forgotten that Chen is my friend too?" Ryan frowned as she checked her phone. "You barely seem to have contacted him these past few months. You were never like this before. Chen used to complain to you about life over there and video call you every now and then, but not lately. What exactly is going on between you and Ziteng? If Chen finds out, he might never come back." Ryan could not help panicking at that. Of course, she wanted you to return. With that thought, she hurriedly messaged you, asking when you would be back. In her haste, she forgot that it was still the middle of the night where you were. Seeing Ryan like this, Ningbing grew angry. "You'd better end things with Ziteng before Chen returns. Otherwise, how will you clean up this mess? I know what I'm doing. You know what you're doing. When those two meet, which one are you going to choose?" Ningbing rolled her eyes at her. "If you get caught, let's see how you handle it." Ningbing, Ryan, and you had all been college classmates. The three of you had met around the same time. Ningbing had watched your love story unfold. She was a mutual friend to both of you. After graduation, Ningbing and Ryan started a company together. They made a real success of it. Naturally, their sisterly bond ran deep. But ever since you went abroad, Ningbing felt Ryan had become very strange, especially her financially keeping a male college student as her lover. Ningbing simply could not understand it. Ryan had even brought the young man to meet her. She felt it was unfair to you. Yet she also pitied Ziteng. Your career abroad was nearly established, and you had polished your credentials as well. So, during an interview, you announced to everyone that you were returning home. Watching you, the system thought you looked like an eagle warning a flock of chicks. "I'm coming to catch you." The moment Ningbing saw the news, she went to find Ziteng. "Why are you here?" Ziteng worked at a coffee shop. His mother was hospitalized, and her treatment cost a great deal of money. Although Ryan had helped cover the cost, Ziteng did not want to owe her, so he kept taking every job and side gig he could find, hoping to pay her back. Ningbing ordered a coffee. There were few customers at that hour, so she began speaking with Ziteng. "Ziteng, leave Ryan." Ziteng froze. He lowered his head, his eyes turning faintly red. "I know what I'm doing is wrong, but I have no choice. I need the money." Ningbing quickly said, "I'll help you. I can give you the money. If that makes you uncomfortable, consider it a loan. You can repay me later. I promise your mother can still receive proper treatment." Ziteng clutched at his apron. "No, it's different, Ningbing. I know you're a good person, but I can't take your money." Ningbing became anxious. She could not understand why Ziteng was refusing her. "But you can take Ryan's money." Ziteng looked up. Looking humiliated, he glared at Ningbing. Ningbing sighed. That isn't what I meant. But you need to understand. Ruyan has a fiancé. They love each other deeply. What does that make you? Wedging yourself between them like this. Ziteng bit down on his lip, his face deathly pale. I know I'm wrong, but I have no choice. I can't leave her. I told you. I can help you. Ziteng, I can help you. Anything Ruyan does for you, I can do too. But you don't have to be kept by her. Wouldn't that be better? Ziteng lowered his head, gripping his apron tightly. He did not know why. Ningbing had offered to lend him money. He should have been happy. But he did not want to leave Ruyan. After watching him for a moment, Ningbing suddenly frowned. Don't tell me you've fallen for Ruyan. Ziteng immediately shook his head. No, I haven't. How could I possibly like her? I really don't. Ningbing frowned, but said nothing. Ziteng hurriedly took Ningbing's hand. Ningbing, I know you're kind, but I already owe Ruyan so much money. I can't owe you too. I don't have feelings for Ruyan. I know. Ruyan only sees me as a substitute. I know that. I won't entertain any other hopes. Please believe me. Looking at the dejected man before her, Ningbing felt something stir in her heart, but she still pulled her hand from Ziteng's grasp. Chen Fan is coming back. Ziteng, think this through carefully. Ziteng stood there stunned. Of course he knew who Chen Fan was. It was the name Ruyan called whenever she was drunk. It was a world he could never touch. But whenever he appeared, Ruyan would immediately leave Ziteng for him. That was Ruyan's fiancé. Ruyan naturally saw your interview too. She learned that you were coming back. She was thrilled. She also remembered Ningbing's words. So she asked Ziteng to meet her at the apartment she had given Ziteng. Ziteng made dinner, happily waiting for Ruyan to come. When she arrived, she handed him a contract to end their relationship. I'll give you the money we agreed on. You can keep the apartment too. Don't appear before me again. Our relationship ends here. I'll make arrangements with the hospital. You don't need to worry. Ziteng gripped the contract tightly. His eyes filled with tears. Still unwilling to give up, he asked. Why? Ruyan answered without hesitation. He's coming back. Ziteng felt his heart bleeding. He'd given her 2 years. Yet she showed no reluctance to let him go. Was he really just a substitute? When he said nothing, Ruyan frowned slightly. Growing impatient, she turned to leave. Ziteng hurriedly caught hold of her clothes. He looked up at her, practically pleading. Could you grant me one last request? Ruyan said nothing, but she did not pull away. Ziteng's heart ached, and his voice choked with emotion. I want to celebrate your birthday with you one last time. Would that be okay? Ruyan thought it over. Her birthday was next week, and you would not return until the following month. It did not seem to matter. So she agreed. Ziteng eagerly prepared the birthday party. He booked a private karaoke room in advance. He decorated it all by himself. He invited all of Ruyan's friends too. Ziteng told himself that after this birthday, he would leave for good. He would take his mother back to their hometown and make sure Ruyan could never find him again. There were many guests at the party, all of them Ruyan's friends. Naturally, she could not look displeased. Seated beside her, Ziteng greeted the guests like the host. He did not notice anything, but Ningbing, nearby, did not look pleased. When it was time to blow out the candles, everyone began chanting, "Kiss, kiss." Ziteng's face turned bright red. He avoided her gaze. Ruyan found it tiresome. She had brought him here, but they had never even held hands. How could she kiss him? Several men deliberately egged them on. Come on, kiss. President Liu is shy. That's right. Kiss him already. Ruyan looked down at Ziteng beside her. He wore a white suit. A faint blush colored his face. His gaze kept shifting away. Sunlight fell across him. And suddenly, the clean-cut young man before her made her heart flutter. Ziteng met Ruyan's eyes. The air between them suddenly turned intimate. Just then, the private room door opened. You walked in wearing a white suit as well. Looks like I'm late. They had been about to blow out the candles, so no music was playing in the room. At your voice, everyone turned to look. The intimate mood instantly turned awkward, with everyone eager for drama. Their eyes kept moving between you and Ziteng. The difference between the real one and the substitute was obvious. Ziteng had an innocent, handsome look, while you were gentle, refined, and impeccably poised. While everyone watched the drama, they also mocked Ruyan's awful taste. How did these two look alike at all? You first glanced at Ruyan, taking in the heroine's appearance. She was far more mature than you remembered. Then you looked at the male lead, and could not help smiling. Another sweet, innocent type. Though he really did resemble the body's original owner. But during this time, you had fused your own aura into the original host body, and after years of experience away from home, the original host had become increasingly calm and composed. Now, they did not look alike at all. Seeing no one speak, you raised an eyebrow. What? Not happy to see me? Before you could finish, you were swept into an embrace. You looked over the person's shoulder. Ryan's seat was already empty. The only person meeting your gaze was Ziteng, his face full of hurt and sorrow. Ryan wished she could meld you into her very bones. She had not realized how desperately she had missed you. Everyone grew even more awkward watching this. Several women huddled together, whispering. Their looks toward Ziteng were full of contempt and mockery. Ziteng's flushed face turned deathly pale. He could barely remain standing. He staggered back a few steps before Ningbing caught him. Hey, enough. We didn't come here to watch you to fawn over each other. Exactly, Ryan. If you want to be lovey-dovey, go home and do it. Isn't that right? Their friends teased them. Ryan let you go. Her eyes brimmed with excitement and affection as she looked at you. At their words, she actually took your hand, ready to leave. Hey, you're really leaving? Don't. We finally got you out here. Besides, we want to see Chen Fan too. It's been so long. Exactly. You can't keep him all to yourself. As they spoke, they rushed over and pulled you from Ryan's arms. Then they greeted you one by one. You smiled and answered everyone's questions. After everyone had spoken, you were conveniently pushed right in front of Ningbing. You looked at him and smiled softly, opening your arms. Ningbing was dazed as you approached. You frowned in mock displeasure. What's wrong, old Bai? No hug? Hearing that familiar nickname, Ningbing broke into a smile. She reached out and pulled you into her arms. As she turned her head, she caught the fresh, crisp scent of grass and leaves. You hugged her tightly. You whispered, I really missed you. Ningbing froze. She looked up in slight panic. Everyone around them was smiling at the pair, with no other strange reactions. She couldn't help wondering if she had misheard. Seeing them remain locked in an embrace, Ryan approached with a slight frown. She pulled you out of Ningbing's arms and held you against her. Enough? You've caught up. That's enough. Feeling the emptiness in his arms. Feeling her arms suddenly empty, Ningbing flexed her fingers, unaccustomed to the loss. Oh, someone's jealous. Ryan, you look awful when you're this jealous. Ryan glared at them without a word. She only held you tighter, her possessiveness unmistakable. You smiled as you listened to their teasing, but your gaze had settled on the male lead who looked close to tears. I don't believe I've met this friend before. Who is this? You looked to the others, waiting for an introduction. The cheerful atmosphere instantly turned cold. Everyone awkwardly looked away. Only a few women looked eager for the drama, watching you with knowing looks. Seeing this, you turned to Ryan. Your face was full of innocent trust. Ryan met your gaze, her heart filled with guilt and unease. She turned to look toward Ningbing. Ningbing had already taken Ziteng's hand. Her expression was slightly unnatural. He's my boyfriend. Your eyes widened at that. Old Bai, you have a boyfriend. Ningbing released Ziteng. She tapped your forehead. What are you talking about? You broke into a smile. You offered your hand to Ziteng. Hello, I'm Chen Fan. I'm Ryan's fiancé. Ziteng looked at the hand before him. Fair and slender. Self-consciously, he held out his own calloused hand. Ziteng. You shook his hand, your eyes casually sweeping over him. Ziteng. There's no need to be nervous. We're all good friends here. Old Bai and I have known each other since college. Almost 9 years now. Ningbing cut in from the side. It has been almost 9 years. You don't even remember how long you've been abroad. You smiled faintly. Why do you sound so resentful? Weren't you all supportive back then? The hurt in your voice stirred Ningbing's heart. She thought again of what you had said earlier. You continued chatting with Ziteng. I didn't expect you to like white suits too. Our taste must be pretty similar. Let's go shopping together next time. Seeing your innocent expression, several friends looked away. They were afraid they might blurt out the truth. Seeing you keep talking to Ziteng, Ryan felt awful about it. She quickly pulled you to her side, sat you down, and asked softly, Where's my birthday present? You turned to her teasingly. I came home early. Doesn't that count as a birthday present? Ryan smiled at that. It counts. The others sat down as well, watching Ryan fawn over you, then seeing Ziteng beside them. They could not help frowning. Partway through, you went to the restroom. Ruyan looked at Ziteng, who had been silent since earlier. You should go home. Ziteng had thought he could not feel any worse. Yet one word from Ruyan plunged him into pain again. He spoke, his voice aggrieved. You promised me. Ruyan said nothing. Right now, nothing mattered more to her than Chen Fan. Ziteng read her thoughts from her expression and gave a bitter laugh. The moment he shows up, nothing else matters more than him, does it? Ruyan's silence made her answer clear. Tears streamed down Ziteng's face. The friends nearby began urging him. Ziteng, just go home first. Otherwise, Chen Fan might see you. Ziteng's face went pale. He had truly considered these people his friends. After all, they were Ruyan's friends. He had always treated them sincerely. He remembered every one of their birthdays and prepared gifts for them. But the moment Chen Fan returned, they all wanted him gone. I'm not leaving. You promised me. You said I could stay and celebrate your birthday with you. Ziteng gritted his teeth and stood by his decision. Ruyan frowned. I don't need you to spend my birthday with me. Ziteng demanded through tears. But for the last 2 years, I was the one who spent it with you. I only have one wish now. I just want to spend one last birthday with you. Is even that too much to ask? You clearly promised me. Oh, give it a rest. Don't make such a scene. One of the women could not hold back any longer. The real one is back. Who would want to stand in like you? Exactly. Another woman joined in, mocking him. Ziteng, have you even looked at yourself? You can't compare to the real one at all. Why don't you look in a mirror? Do you really think an ugly duckling can become a swan? They told you to leave, yet you still refuse to go. You're making yourself look so desperate. Hurt by their words, Ziteng looked at Ruyan. But though Ruyan frowned, she said nothing. Ziteng's heart was shattered beyond repair. Enough. The insults were getting harsher and harsher, and by Ningbing could not help stepping in. Then she looked at Ziteng. I'll take you home. But Ziteng stubbornly refused to leave. He went to Ruyan's side and grabbed her hand. Ruyan, I don't want to leave. Zhang Yao frowned. Enough. Just let old Bai take you home. If Chen Fan really finds out, you're dressed exactly like Chen Fan today. What if Chen Fan realizes you're his replacement? You pushed the door open and walked in just then. What replacement? The private room fell silent again. The instant Ruyan saw you, she slapped away Ziteng's hand. Smack! The back of Ziteng's hand throbbed with pain. But his heart hurt even more. His face was deathly pale. He looked at Ruyan in anguish, his eyes brimming with hurt. The sound drew your attention too. You saw Ziteng holding Ruyan's hand. You immediately frowned. Your gaze moved between Ruyan and Ziteng. Aren't you old Bai's boyfriend? That question made the room even quieter. Only the soft music could still be heard. What kind of man are you? Ruyan hurriedly rose to her feet and walked toward you. You held up a hand to stop her. Ruyan looked at you with a complicated expression. You glanced at him, then turned to Bai Ningbing. Which one of you wants to explain what this replacement business is? Who is my replacement? Zhang Yao lowered her head, wishing she could disappear. She hoped no one remembered that she had spoken first. You looked at Ruyan. Ruyan remained silent. Then you looked at Bai Ningbing. Bai Ningbing pressed her lips together and said nothing either. You gave a cold laugh. Then you turned and singled Zhang Yao out from the crowd. Zhang Yao, you tell me, who's standing in for whom? Zhang Yao froze for a moment at being called out. Then she forced an awkward smile. Chen Fan, it's not what you think. We were just gossiping. Gossiping? Yes, we were just gossiping. Don't misunderstand. You let out a cold laugh. Heh, do you take me for a fool? Do those look like the reactions of people just gossiping? They all fell silent again. You looked at Ziteng. Why doesn't Mr. Du tell us whose boyfriend he is? Ziteng felt his face burning. It was as if his dignity had been ground into the dirt, as if only now noticing how much Ziteng resembled you. You said, no wonder something fell off the moment I walked in. Old Bai, is he really your boyfriend? You looked at Bai Ningbing across the room. Bai Ningbing pressed her lips together. After a long while, she finally shook her head. You turned your gaze to Ruyan. Then he must be your boyfriend. No. You're my only boyfriend. Ruyan hurriedly denied it. You're shameless. You raised your hand and slapped Ruyan. Ruyan's face snapped to the side. Ziteng covered his mouth, watching Ruyan with worry all over his face. The others fell quiet at the slap. You looked at Ruyan in disappointment. Explain yourself to your parents, and to my parents too. For all the disgusting things you've done. I must have been blind. With that, You turned and ran out. Zhang Yao stood up, strode over to Liu Ruyan, and shoved her. Go after him. Only then did Liu Ruyan snap out of it. She ran after you. Once Liu Ruyan caught up with you, she immediately began explaining. There's nothing between her and me. I never even held her hand. Chen Fan, please. Don't be like this. Please forgive me. I was just confused for a moment. Please don't do this. I'm begging you. I just missed you so much. I couldn't help myself. You raised your hands and covered your ears. I don't want to hear it. Liu Ruyan stopped. You look calm. You never allowed yourself to look pathetic. Liu Ruyan, let's take some time apart. I don't know if anything you're saying is true. I don't trust you anymore. I need time to clear my head. Let's not see each other for now. A chill ran down Liu Ruyan's back. You're leaving me. You turned away, close to breaking down. Then, what am I supposed to do? I came back so happily to celebrate your birthday. And what did you do? You found someone else. Liu Ruyan, you betrayed me. Liu Ruyan hurriedly pulled you back. I didn't do anything. Believe me. Forgive me this once. Please. At first, you struggled, but eventually let her hold you. Let's take some time apart. I'll sort out my feelings, and you sort out this mess of a relationship. Then we'll talk. Liu Ruyan agreed at once. Okay. I'll settle things with her. Once I've settled things with her, we'll talk again. Promise me. You'll give me another chance. You thought it over, and agreed. By Ningbing took Du Ziteng home. Before returning to her apartment, all the way back, she could only think of your devastated expression. By Ningbing's heartache, she never should have let Liu Ruyan do this in the first place. As she reached her apartment door, By Ningbing saw someone sitting outside her door. A thin white shirt trembled in the cold wind. By Ningbing held her breath, blinking in disbelief. That flash of white did not disappear. You looked up and saw By Ningbing frozen in place. You stood up, but after sitting so long, your legs had gone numb. You could barely keep your balance, and fell toward the steps. By Ningbing rushed forward and caught you. You leaned weakly against By Ningbing's chest, murmuring in complaint. What took you so long? By Ningbing was deeply regretful at that moment. She should not have taken Du Ziteng home. Feeling your icy arms in her embrace, By Ningbing's regret deepened. She quickly held you tighter. Apologizing, she carried you into her apartment. I'll give you a key later. Next time, you can let yourself in. You came and didn't even call me. If you called, I would have come right back. By Ningbing kept grumbling. As she settled you onto the sofa, she fetched a blanket and wrapped you in it, then hurried to the kitchen to boil water. You sat on the sofa with your head lowered, looking somewhat sad. As By Ningbing boiled the water, she kept looking over at you on the sofa, her eyes full of tenderness. The system could not make sense of the scene. Host, By Ningbing is the second female lead. Why did you come to her place? You lowered your head. Your cheeks were red from the cold, and so were your eyes. At the system's words, your lips curled slightly. Didn't you say not to worry about the plot going off course? Then of course she has to pay the price. The system was dumbfounded. How could betraying a friend come without consequences? Of course I have to make her regret it. In the original story, By Ningbing was a mutual friend of the original body owner and Liu Ruyan. But she saw Liu Ruyan cheating, yet did nothing to stop her. Nor did she warn the original host. She even blamed the original host for returning because Du Ziteng was upset. She said the original host should not have come back. You smiled. Why would you let others blame you? You should take the moral high ground and blame them instead. By Ningbing handed you a cup of water. She wanted to say something, but did not know how to begin. For some reason, By Ningbing did not want to mention Liu Ruyan right now. You took a sip of hot water. It felt a little warm. Then you looked up and met By Ningbing's eyes. At once, By Ningbing was lost in your galaxy-like eyes. She stared at you blankly, carefully crouching before you, without getting up to leave. When did you find out? By Ningbing came back to herself, but did not dare meet your eyes. She turned her head aside, avoiding your gaze. You immediately understood her hesitation. You spoke with certainty. You knew from the beginning. By Ningbing looked at you, her eyes filled with guilt and tenderness. So, you knew from the beginning, but you never told me. You even helped her deceive me. By Ningbing pressed her lips together. I'm sorry. You lowered your head. By Ningbing, are we still friends? By Ningbing quickly said, of course, we've always been friends. You looked up at her. Your eyes held undisguised disappointment. So, for more than 2 years, I sent you so many messages. Did you ever, even once, think of telling me? By Ningbing lowered her head. She had thought about it, but she was afraid of hurting you. She clearly remembered when you said you were leaving to chase your dream. That light in your eyes. If this had made you give up your dream, Ningbing dared not imagine whether you would regret it. So she never said a word. I know my answer now. You set down the cup, pushed Ningbing away, and rose to leave. Ningbing quickly grabbed your hand. Where are you going? You turned back, your eyes full of sorrow. Ningbing, are you still the Ningbing I knew? Seeing tears fall from the corners of your eyes, Ningbing sighed. She pulled you into her arms. I'm sorry. Don't be sad. This is all my fault. I should have stopped her from the start. I should have told you from the start. Perhaps you'd been wound too tightly. Or perhaps you forced yourself to stay strong for too long. Held in someone's arms and comforted, you suddenly lost control. You broke down, sobbing and hurt. What did I do wrong? Why are you treating me like this? Listening to your sobs, Ningbing felt as though a knife had stabbed her heart, pain tearing through her in waves. They had hurt you. She had no answer. All she could do was hold you tightly. The system watched you weep your heart out in the second female lead's arms, and clicked its tongue when it saw the host pass out. As the second female lead helped you to a room, the system grew a little nervous, but then it saw the second female lead gently wipe your face as if you were something precious. Then she tucked you beneath the covers and quietly slipped out. When Ningbing woke the next morning, you were already gone, of course. Seeing breakfast on the table, Ningbing's heart warmed. She ate the breakfast, though it had gone a little cold, sent you a message, then went to work. After leaving Ningbing's home, you went back to your own. You went with your parents to visit several elders, including Liu Ryan's parents. Xiao Fan has grown up. He's become even more handsome. Isn't that right? He's not just handsome. He's a talented young man now, too. That's right, old Chen. You'd have a blessed life ahead of you. You linked arms with your mother, wearing a poised smile throughout. You merely smiled at the elders' praise. You're all too kind. The media exaggerates. Having a son really is better. Look at Xiao Fan. He knows to keep you company. Not like that troublesome daughter of mine. Who knows where she's run off to? I can never even find her. Exactly. Sons are more thoughtful. They're like little rays of warmth. That's right. That troublesome girl of mine would never think to come with me. Whenever I want her, she's nowhere to be found. I should have had a son too. Not every family's daughter is like that. Have you seen the Zhou family's girl? She dresses like some gaudy street punk every day. Mrs. Zhou is practically furious. When all is said and done, the Chen family is truly blessed. Isn't that so? You stayed by your parents' side, playing the devoted, heartwarming son to perfection. You were obedient and gracious, earning praise from many elders. Whenever Liu Ryan's parents heard people asking about you, they beamed with smiles. They should be getting married soon. It was delayed because Xiaofan went abroad for further study. Yes, they fell in love on their own. We parents did not do anything other than support them. What does it matter whether they are a proper match? They love each other. Mother Liu had initially been unhappy about your plans to study abroad, but now she was exceptionally proud of your accomplishments. She was also delighted whenever her future son-in-law was mentioned. Whenever others asked, she kept saying the wedding was near. Anyone could see she was thrilled with her future son-in-law. Naturally, you also took time to greet Mr. and Mrs. Liu in private. You told them you had brought gifts for them from overseas, which you would bring when you visited them another day. Mr. Liu was pleased with his courteous future son-in-law. He nodded, then left his wife to do the talking. Mrs. Liu was naturally delighted. She took your hand and spoke to you warmly. Only when someone came to speak with Mr. Liu did she reluctantly let you leave. As the elders' gathering was about to end, you finally saw the person you had wanted to meet, Youyu, Liu Ryan's aunt. She was now 29 years old, only 4 years older than Liu Ryan. This was a private gathering. Everyone present was a close friend, and everyone else was about the same age as Chen Fan's parents. Only you and Youyu belonged to the younger generation. When you spotted Youyu, she was lying in a wicker chair on the second floor, basking in the sun. A book covered her face. Hearing a sound, Youyu opened her eyes and took the book from her face. She looked up and saw a man in a white suit standing before her, his eyes fixed on her chest. Youyu frowned slightly and lowered the book in her hand. A little displeased, she looked up, ready to send him away, when, through your slightly open collar, she glimpsed the refined curve of your collarbones, half hidden from view. A light breeze swept past Chuyu's ear, parting the front of your shirt slightly. Those clean lines formed a lovely curve in the shifting light. It carried an indescribable sensuality. Chuyu's throat bobbed, her fingertips unconsciously brushing the book cover. You leaned forward slightly, and your collar slipped a little farther over your shoulder, making the crisp outline of your collarbones even clearer. You smiled at Chuyu and asked, "You like this book too? I've checked several bookstores, but couldn't find a copy. Could I borrow yours to read?" Chuyu rose from the wicker chair and handed him the book without hesitation. "Sure." Delighted, you quickly reached out with both hands. As you took the book, you accidentally brushed Chuyu's hand. As Chuyu pulled her hand back, she could not help touching the tip of her nose. A faint scent of tobacco instantly lingered there. Holding the book, you sat across from Chuyu. You opened it and read for a while, then closed it, looking up at Chuyu. "By the way, my name is Chen Fan. What's your name?" Chuyu raised an eyebrow slightly, thinking to herself, was it just a shared name? Or was he that Chen Fan? Chuyu, your eyes lit up. You took out your phone. "Let's exchange contact information. Once I finish this book, I'll treat you to dinner, Miss Chu." Chuyu looked at him. Now that you were seated, your shirt collar had fallen slightly open, revealing flashes of the straight, defined lines of your collarbones. The sight made her heart itch. Chuyu leaned forward slightly, hiding her thoughts, then took out her phone and exchanged contact information with you. Once you had her contact information, you leaned back in your chair contentedly, opened the book in your hands, and read. The corners of your lips curved upward, as though you truly loved the book. Chuyu did not leave either. She simply sat across from you, her gaze repeatedly drifting to the defined collarbones beneath your collar. Yet you seemed utterly unaware. The two of you sat there quietly, one reading a book, the other admiring the view. Only when Mother Chen came to call you did you rise and leave. "I'll treat you to dinner when I'm done reading it." You waved the book in your hand, only after you had vanished from sight. Did Chuyu finally suppress the restless feeling inside her? After returning from the gathering, you obediently stayed home and read. Only after you had finished the book, did you open your email. In your inbox was the information you had asked a private investigator to gather regarding Du Ziteng. Du Ziteng's mother had leukemia. Because no suitable bone marrow donor could be found, she had been staying in the hospital, undergoing chemotherapy. Naturally, all those expenses were paid by Ruyan. You looked at Du Ziteng's address. You reviewed the detective's report on Du Ziteng's daily routine. You learned he was working at a coffee shop that day. So, you went there. "Welcome. What would you like to drink?" When Du Ziteng looked up, his smile froze. He had seen the man before. You looked him over a few times, then took a seat by the window. "A latte, please." Du Ziteng came back to his senses. "Of course. Please wait a moment." As he made the coffee, Du Ziteng kept glancing over at you. He had to admit, you were truly elegant, charming, and poised. Nothing like him. But when he thought of Ruyan, Du Ziteng's face went slightly pale. Du Ziteng placed the freshly made coffee before you. "Please enjoy." You stopped Du Ziteng as he turned to leave. "Wait." Du Ziteng's back stiffened, but he still turned around. "Is there anything else you need?" You stirred your coffee with a spoon. "I'd like to ask you something. When you became Ruyan's lover, did you know she had a fiancé?" Du Ziteng froze where he stood, his face drained of color. When his mother was diagnosed with leukemia, it felt as though his world had collapsed. Ruyan was the one who held him up. She arranged the best hospital, brought in specialists, and paid the enormous medical bills. Du Ziteng thought his Snow White had finally appeared. Just as he was overwhelmed with joy, Ruyan suddenly produced an agreement, requiring him to dress according to someone else's tastes, to adopt someone else's preferences, and to serve as that person's substitute. Du Ziteng felt his world collapse all over again. But he couldn't refuse. He couldn't refuse Ruyan. Ruyan had saved his mother's life. She was the one in his heart. So, Du Ziteng thought, let him be selfish just this once. While that person was away, he would stay by Ruyan's side. But somewhere along the way, they both crossed the line. Ruyan treated him better and better. She took him to meet her circle of friends, while Du Ziteng grew increasingly dependent on Ruyan. If not for the person standing before him, Du Ziteng might have truly believed that he was the one Ruyan had always longed for. Seeing him like this, what else was there to understand? You spoke with a mocking edge. So, knowing Ruyan had a fiancé, you still agreed to be her lover. Du Ziteng's face turned ashen, his eyes reddening, as if his dignity had been trampled underfoot. But you did not stop. You continued questioning him. Then do you know That Liu Ryan and I were not engaged because our parents arranged it. We liked each other. We got engaged because we truly loved each other. Du Ziteng clutched his apron tightly. He remembered a time when Liu Ryan came to see him drunk, murmuring Chen Fan's name over and over. Having just finished serving customers, Yao Qin was about to speak with Du Ziteng. Seeing Du Ziteng standing there, pale-faced, she furrowed her brow. As she was about to go over, she heard the customer mention Liu Ryan's name. Seeing that the customer wore nothing but designer labels, Yao Qin assumed he was a wealthy young man infatuated with Liu Ryan. There to confront Du Ziteng, Liu Ryan's official boyfriend, she hurriedly called Liu Ryan. When Liu Ryan received the call, she was with Bai Ningbing. Noticing Liu Ryan's expression change, Bai Ningbing asked what was wrong. Liu Ryan frowned. Yao Qin called to say someone was causing trouble for Du Ziteng. Bai Ningbing's expression darkened. You still haven't cut things off with him. Liu Ryan's expression was equally grim. That day, she had come to clear things up with Du Ziteng. But Du Ziteng's mother's condition suddenly worsened, so she stayed with him another night. The words she needed to say never left her mouth. Seeing Liu Ryan's expression, Bai Ningbing's face went completely dark. You're not going over there, are you? I'm afraid it's Du Ziteng's cousin. Liu Ryan looked serious. Bai Ningbing frowned. Du Ziteng's cousin? She had met him once. He was a worthless gambling addict. He often demanded money from Du Ziteng and beat him when he refused. I'll go with you. The coffee shop where Du Ziteng worked was not far from Liu Ryan's company. 10 minutes later, they arrived outside the shop. You and Du Ziteng were still locked in a standoff. Mr. Du, what will it take for you to leave my fiancé? Du Ziteng stood rigidly, twisting his apron before finally speaking. I'm sorry, Mr. Chen. I desperately need money. You frowned. How much do you want? I can give it to you. Du Ziteng looked deeply insulted. He bit his lip and refused to speak. From afar, Yao Qin saw that Du Ziteng was on the verge of tears. She hurried over and smiled at you. What else can I get you, handsome? You glanced at her but ignored her, keeping your eyes on Du Ziteng. Mr. Du, you're only staying by Liu Ryan's side for money. I can give you money. I only want you to leave her. Du Ziteng lowered his head, nearly breaking into tears. At those words, Yao Qin's temper flared. She hated it most when rich people used money to bully others. Hey, what kind of thing is that to say? Can money buy love? Ziteng isn't with President Liu for money, okay? They truly love each other. And who are you? Why should the real boyfriend be the one to leave? Du Ziteng tugged at Yao Qin's sleeve. You gave a cold laugh. Her real boyfriend? Is that what you tell people? Yao Qin could not stand the mockery in your voice. She stepped forward and shielded Du Ziteng. Hey, who do you think you are? Don't think having a little money makes you better than everyone else. Do you think we're afraid of you? Yao Qin raised her voice, drawing the attention of everyone else in the coffee shop. You were utterly unfazed. Who am I? Didn't Mr. Du tell you? I'm President Li's fiancé. Yao Qin was about to argue back. When she realized what you had said, she froze in place. Fiancé. That's right. Liu Ryan and I have been together for 7 years. We got engaged 3 years ago. How is it that I never knew? Liu Ryan had another so-called real boyfriend? A beat later, Yao Qin turned to Du Ziteng. Du Ziteng stood there deathly pale, without the slightest attempt to deny it. Yao Qin's heart went cold. You continued. Not for money? As far as I know, Mr. Du, you're still a college student. From hospitalization to treatment, your mother's medical expenses must be at least several $100,000. Can you honestly claim that Liu Ryan did not pay that money? What exactly gives you the right to spend Liu Ryan's money, Mr. Du? The coffee shop customers stared over in astonishment. The betrayed fiancé was confronting the other man. What a show. When Liu Ryan and Bai Ningbing entered, they saw only Du Ziteng with his head lowered, tears clinging to his cheeks. Yao Qin stood in front of you, so Liu Ryan did not see you. Seeing this, rage surged through her and she rushed over. She pulled Du Ziteng to her side. Who bullied you? Hearing her, Yao Qin turned around. Liu Ryan happened to look over, and as Yao Qin shifted aside, her eyes met yours. Liu Ryan froze where she stood. When she came to her senses, she immediately shook off Du Ziteng's hand. Du Ziteng crashed into a nearby table. Du Ziteng stared at Liu Ryan in disbelief. You gave a bitter smile. So this is what you meant when you said, I should give you another chance. And you handle everything. Liu Ryan took 2 steps forward. It's not like that, Chen Fan. I didn't. But as she approached, you immediately stood and backed away. Don't come any closer. Liu Ryan. You've disappointed me too much. You truly disgust me. With that, you threw the coffee in your hand, straight into Ryan's face, then walked away without a backward glance. Ryan wiped the coffee from her face and was about to chase after you, but Ningbing stopped her. Don't provoke him anymore. I'm worried something might happen to him. Ryan became even more worried. She wanted to follow you, but could not. Ningbing added, I'll go check on him. You deal with your own mess first. Watching Ningbing chase after you, Ryan's heart ached even more. Youyu stood where she was, her face darkening. Her friend, the person she thought was so innocent, had actually become the other man. He had knowingly chosen to become the other man. Ziteng had barely straightened up when Ryan's gaze landed on her. Her heart skipped a beat. Ryan looked at Ziteng coldly, her voice laced with hatred. Don't ever show your face before me again, and especially not before him. With that, Ryan strode away. At once, everyone in the coffee shop looked at Ziteng differently, especially several regulars. Who had thought this college student was innocent? Who knew he could be so calculating? Ryan's words felt like they had pierced Ziteng's heart. Ziteng clutched his chest in anguish, expecting someone to comfort him. But after a long while, not a word came. He could not help looking at Youyu. At some point, Youyu had returned to the counter and begun serving customers. Ningbing caught up with you, pulled you close, and hailed a cab. Before long, he brought you back to his apartment. The moment you entered, you stopped. Ningbing, who had been leading you, stopped too. He turned and gently asked, What's wrong? You suddenly rushed into his arms and held him tightly. Ningbing was startled at first, then he held you tightly. You spoke in a muffled voice. Ningbing, are you all I have left? Ningbing's heart broke for you. He held you even tighter. Don't be sad. You still have me. You spent another night at Ningbing's place. The next morning, you left breakfast as usual and departed. When you got home and found a set of keys in your bag, your lips curved slightly. One fish had taken the bait. You touched the book on the bedside table, then took out your phone and messaged Youyu. Miss Chu, I've finished the book. When are you free? Let me treat you to dinner. And return your book while we're at it. When Youyu received the message, she was listening to her assistant's work report. When a phone chimed, the assistant froze for a moment, then nervously glanced at his boss. Then he took out his phone, checked it discreetly, and found no new messages. The assistant was still confused when his boss picked up her phone and opened WeChat. Youyu raised an eyebrow slightly at the message. The assistant quietly stood to one side, waiting for her boss to reply. Inside, he was astonished. He had been President Chu's assistant for 5 years, but had never once seen his boss use WeChat. President Chu was only in her 30s, yet behaved like an old fogey in her 50s. Now, watching his boss hold her phone as she replied, the assistant raised his brows, curious who was on the other end. While flirting with Youyu through messages, you began preparing your art exhibition. Thanks to your hard work abroad, your reputation had soared. The moment people heard you were holding an exhibition, many offered sponsorship. You brought out your completed paintings. Using most as exhibition pieces, you only needed to paint a few more, and the exhibition could begin. You wanted to paint the starry sky. While chatting with you, Youyu learned you were planning an exhibition and intended to paint a starry sky. She promptly called you. You were surprised to get her call. But you can't see beautiful stars in the city, so I haven't felt inspired to paint. Youyu raised a brow, a teasing lilt in her voice. I know a place where you can see a breathtaking sky full of stars. Your voice instantly brightened. Really? You's lips curved faintly. Want to go? Youyu smiled, opening her schedule to check her availability, as if you sensed what she was thinking. Your voice turned suggestive. How about I treat you to dinner, Ms. Chu, and you take me stargazing? Youyu was not having it. You still owe me the dinner from last time. Your lips curled up. Then I'll save it for next time. You went straight to You's company. At reception, a woman in glasses was waiting. The moment she saw you, she approached. Hello, Mr. Chen. I'm President Chu's assistant. President Chu is waiting for you in the parking garage. I'll take you there. The assistant wore a gentle smile, but inwardly, she was screaming. No wonder her boss, usually so old-fashioned, couldn't put down her phone. This man was practically a heartthrob. All right, thank you. You smiled slightly and followed her toward the elevator. Out of the corner of your eye, you caught the receptionist's nosy expression. Once inside You's car, You leaned back and looked around curiously. Finally, you took a small Lucky Charm sachet from your bag and hung it in her car. Chuyayu watched you act as if her car belonged to you. Rather than getting angry, she merely smiled. She started the car. Their destination was a resort, one that was still under construction. As they neared the place, Chuyayu glanced sideways at the man sitting quietly in the passenger seat. Aren't you afraid I'll sell you? At that, you looked up from your phone and looked at Chuyayu. How much could I possibly be worth? Chuyayu chuckled. You're worth quite a bit. You smiled as you watched the scenery outside. This place isn't open yet, is it? Chuyayu nodded. That's right. So, you're the first guest to come here. Everyone wants to feel special. Those words truly made you happy. You carefully took in the resort. It was beautiful, with local ethnic touches. Every house stood on stilts, and all were built of wood. They looked exquisitely crafted. The car stopped beside a lake. You got out and saw lotus leaves covering the lake. You turned to Chuyayu. We should have come in June. Chuyayu smiled. I'll bring you back then. Chuyayu handed the car keys to the resort manager and quietly instructed him. Prepare some local specialties, then have the house in the middle of the lake cleaned. After giving her instructions, Chuyayu then caught up and walked beside you. The stars here are beautiful at night. You can enjoy them properly tonight. You turned to her, your eyes smiling. Thank you so much, President Chu. Chuyayu smiled. As she walked beside you, she introduced the resort's history and highlights. So many of the people here were originally villagers from this place. You looked at Chuyayu in surprise. Chuyayu nodded. That's right. I bought their land. They rent my houses to live in and open shops here to make a living. It's much better than hiring new staff. Chuyayu smiled at the nearly completed resort. More than my other employees. They'll cherish and care for this place. You smiled. President Chu, you really know business. Why don't you teach me? Chuyayu looked at the man before her. Sure, but you'll have to pay tuition. It's not like you're short on money, are you? Chuyayu gazed into those clear eyes, her lips curving with a wicked hint of amusement. I never said it would be money. You raised a brow, suddenly intrigued. Then, what do you want? Chuyayu was silent for a long while. After keeping you in suspense long enough, she finally said, I'll tell you later. Come on, let's eat. With that, she strode toward the nearby restaurant. Perhaps you had wandered off at random earlier, but you had headed straight toward the restaurant. Tell me now. You chased after her, dissatisfied, and tugged at Chuyayu's clothes. I'll tell you later. By the time dinner was over, night had fallen. You were about to walk along the lake to work off dinner, when Chuyayu lightly tapped your head. You turned to look at her. Chuyayu leaned close, her lips near your ear. Look up? You looked up, stunned. The vast night sky was scattered with countless stars, like pearls of every size strewn across a jade platter, glimmering with light. After returning from the resort, Chuyayu became busy again. You felt things had progressed far enough. So, you did not contact Chuyayu. Instead, you frequently chatted with Liu Ruyan and by Ningbing. Liu Ruyan seemed genuinely determined to make amends. She kept sending flowers to your apartment. Whether you replied or not, she messaged to check on you whenever she had time, morning and night. Looking at the flood of messages on your phone, you frowned slightly, locked the screen, and continued painting, preparing pieces for the exhibition. You had been back home for some time, when your parents noticed you had not visited the Liu family. They sensed something was wrong. They told you to visit the Liu elders, and arranged a dinner for both families. Having no choice, you took the gifts you had brought back from abroad and went to the Liu residence. The Chen and Liu families did not live far apart. It took only half an hour by car. Before leaving, you called Mr. and Mrs. Liu. Of course, you knew they would tell Liu Ruyan. Whether Liu Ruyan would be there was no longer your concern. Mr. Chen is here. The butler beamed when he saw you. He still vividly remembered the engagement banquet years ago. He had always thought Mr. Chen and Ms. Liu were a perfect match. You smiled. Uncle Liu. Are Uncle and Annie home? They are. Please, come in. You carried the gifts inside. At once, you saw Mrs. Liu watching television in the living room. Annie. Hearing your voice, Mrs. Liu hurried to her feet. She even paused her palace intrigue drama first. Then she came over to greet you. You're already here. Why bring gifts? You shouldn't be so formal. You smiled and took out the gift in your hand. This is for you. When I saw this scarf abroad, I thought it would suit you perfectly. I bought it especially to bring back for you. It was from a high-end luxury brand. and difficult to find locally. Seeing it was her favorite color, purple. Mrs. Liu could not stop the corners of her mouth from rising. How thoughtful of you to remember me while you were abroad. You looked polite and attentive. Where is Uncle? I brought him a gift too. He's in the study upstairs. He'll be down soon. I did not get a proper look at you last time we met. Why do you seem so much thinner? Was the food abroad not to your taste? It was all right. I just missed the food back home. The two of you sat in the living room chatting. Before Mr. Liu came downstairs, Ruyan returned from outside instead. Mrs. Liu saw her daughter enter carrying a bouquet. She could not help teasing her. You've come home so many times, but you've never brought me flowers. The moment you heard he was here, you came rushing in with flowers, just as I thought. Once you have a fiancé, you forget your mother. Ruyan walked over and handed you the flowers. Out of consideration for Mrs. Liu, you accepted them. Then you turned and gave the roses to Mrs. Liu. Then let me give these flowers to you instead. So, you can be happy too. Mrs. Liu had only been pretending to look stern. At that, she broke into a smile. A son really is more considerate. You smiled. My parents said we're having dinner together tonight. Now that Ruyan is back, why don't we leave now? Mrs. Liu nodded in agreement. She placed the flowers on the coffee table. I'll go get her father. Once Mrs. Liu disappeared up the stairs, the smile vanished from your face. Ruyan crouched before you, holding your hand. You struggled a few times but could not pull free. So, you let her hold it. I really have nothing to do with her anymore. Please don't be mad at me anymore. You turned your face away and would not look at her. You said nothing. Ruyan hurriedly said, I've truly cut her out of my life. Believe me, Chen fan, you are the only one I've ever loved. I just missed you so much that I did something so foolish. You can understand that, can't you? I promise, I truly will not have anything to do with her again. I've even blocked her everywhere. Really, please believe me. I admit I was wrong. I know I was terribly wrong. I'm only asking you to give me one more chance. Give our 7 years together one more chance. Please don't let me go so easily. When she had said nearly enough, you were about to soften and say something. When you heard Mr. and Mrs. Liu, they had come downstairs and were walking over. Ruyan did not panic when she heard them. She simply stood and sat beside you, without releasing your hand. Mr. and Mrs. Liu approached and saw the young couple sitting close together, holding hands, looking utterly affectionate. Mrs. Liu covered her mouth and smiled. Mr. Liu looked stern, but his eyes held a smile. You shook off Ruyan's hand and stood. You greeted Mr. Liu. Hello, Uncle. Mr. Liu nodded. He gave you a brief greeting. Ruyan stood up. Let's go. Mom, ride with Dad. You come with me. No one objected to the arrangement, so everyone set off. You sat quietly in the passenger seat. This was nothing like riding in Chuyayu's car. Back then, you had been at ease and relaxed. You had deliberately seemed relaxed and languid. Now, your face was cold and distant. You wanted to show that you were still angry. Leaning back, you turned to stare out the window. You did not spare Ruyan a single glance. Ruyan kept trying to make conversation. I heard you're holding an art exhibition. Is there anything you need my help with? You watched people pass outside the window, feeling lost. Sometimes the world felt so vast that someone as small as you could be completely overlooked. Sometimes, you even wondered whether you truly existed, though you were lost in thought. You did not forget to answer Ruyan. No need. Your tone was cold. Ruyan seemed at a loss, but cautiously tried a few more topics. They earned only a few indifferent replies from you. When they reached the restaurant, you finally turned to Ruyan before getting out. Ruyan, promises are not just words. You want me to give you a chance, but you need to prove it with actions. I need to see your resolve. I need to see what you do. Not just hear you talk about it, right? Ruyan froze. After 7 years together, I do not want this to end in such an unclear way either. I hope you will not disappoint me again. With that, you unbuckled your seatbelt and got out. Over dinner, both families inevitably brought up the couple's wedding. Before, Xiao Fan was studying abroad, but now he was back. Why not choose a good date and hold the wedding? I think that would work. They were apart before, but now they were together. It was time to consider the wedding. Exactly. Neither of them is getting any younger. It is about time. Mr. Liu turned to the two young people. What do you two think? You pressed your lips together. I think it is still a little early. Before you could even finish saying early, Ruyan cut you off. We'll do as both sets of parents say. You turned to look at Liu Ruyan. A smile appeared on Liu Ruyan's face. Under the table, she reached over and took your hand. You paused, but did not pull away. You frowned, yet did not deny it. Seeing that you did not object to the marriage, the ice in Liu Ruyan's eyes melted. She could not help feeling delighted. At last, a more genuine smile appeared on her face. The elders from both families watched them. One lowered his head shyly, while the other smiled at him. They all began to smile. Then they continued discussing the wedding. There are some good dates next month. Next month is a little soon. There will not be enough time to arrange everything. True. Then July. July sounds good. The weather will be nice too. You kept your head down and ate. Even when you were finally taken home, you had not noticed which date the two families settled on. The families made no secret of discussing the wedding. Soon, many people knew. Ningbing sat drinking in a private room in a bar. He knew his emotions were not right, but he did not want to restrain himself. He only wanted to indulge. When Zhang Yao came in, he was surprised to find Ningbing drinking alone. What's wrong with you? Ningbing tugged at the corner of his mouth. Yes. What was wrong with him? Chen Fan and Liu Ruyan were getting married. As their close friend, shouldn't he have been happy? But Ningbing did not feel happy at all. Instead, his mind was filled with their moments alone together. He knew his feelings were wrong. He did not even know when those feelings had begun. Before Chen Fan went abroad, or after Chen Fan returned. Ningbing did not know, nor could he suppress them. By the time he realized it, he was already heartbroken over Chen Fan's wedding. Sensing something was off, Zhang Yao could not help asking, "What is going on with you? You look like you've been dumped." Ningbing said nothing, but he did not deny it. Zhang Yao was about to joke. When it hit him, he jumped back in shock. He stared at Ningbing as though he had seen a monster. What the hell? No way. You got your heart broken? When? With whom? Do I know them? Did you dump them? Or did they dump you? Ningbing gave a bitter smile. Dumped? We never even began. How could either of us dump the other? From the start, he had never even had a chance. Thinking of how you had held him that day, Ningbing tipped back another drink. Seeing that something was seriously wrong, Zhang Yao quickly snatched his glass away. Come on, let's talk this out. How can I help if you do not tell me? Drinking alone will not solve anything. With no drink left, Ningbing lowered his head in silence. Zhang Yao sighed at the sight. Then he tried to change the subject. He casually asked, Chen Fan and Liu Ruyan are getting married. Did you know that? I cannot believe Chen Fan does not mind. I remember, he may be gentle, but he has always had principles. What Liu Ruyan did was vile, yet he forgave her so easily. Sigh. After waiting a long time without an answer, he turned toward Ningbing. Ningbing's expression had grown even darker. A wild thought suddenly flashed through Zhang Yao's mind. Unable to hold his tongue, he blurted it out. Do you mean Chen Fan? Ningbing did not deny it. After 3 seconds, Zhang Yao leaped to his feet. What the hell? It really is him. Since when? How did I not know? When did you two get involved? Raking a hand through his hair, Zhang Yao answered his own question. No, that is not right. Chen Fan has been abroad these past few years. You have not even gone away on business. You could not possibly have gotten together. Chen Fan clearly loves Liu Ruyan deeply, and he sincerely sees you as a good friend. He would never cross that line. Unless... Zhang Yao turned to Ningbing, who had lifted his head, and spoke with certainty. Ningbing did not deny it either. Zhang Yao turned and kicked the trash can. He let out a curse. They have already set a wedding date. July. They are getting married in July. What are you going to do? Ningbing raised his glass and gulped down another drink. This time, Zhang Yao did not stop him. Zhang Yao came over, sat beside Ningbing, and sighed. Drink. Drink through tonight. Then let it go. Ningbing down one glass after another, as if getting drunk could make the pain disappear. As though those facts could somehow stop being real. Zhang Yao sighed and comforted him from beside him. At first, he told Ningbing to let go. But soon his tone took a different turn. Do not be too heartbroken. Those two are not married yet. Maybe one day Liu Ruyan will lose her head and run off to do Ziteng. Then Chen Fan definitely will